All right, what's up, guys? Taylor here with a quick update for the 28th of October. And so far, October's been a pretty good month here on closed trades, about 75K a profit. And a good chunk of that came from the AMD monthly squeeze, and then from yesterday, we caught the pop on Qualcomm here. Altogether, that was good for about 30,000 bucks and change on the Qualcomm. And that being just good example of playing my favorite game, which is bigger names, bigger time frame squeezes. Given the idea, plenty of time, being the buyer of the out the money call, and when you're right, you're right in a pretty good fashion. So Qualcomm here, we were buying the January and the April expiration 200 calls, and you had nice daily squeeze here. Had the green arrow. There's a weekly squeeze shaping up. We were mainly watching the monthly here. So again, we're long from buck 65, 170ish, and then you got the AI related news, from yesterday. That popped her from. It was a pretty crazy push, maybe the craziest intraday move I've seen. That kicked her from a buck 70 into a high of 205. And I've got a few good rules of thumb. One of them being, anytime you pop a good 20% in one session, you take profit, you shoot first, ask questions later. So yeah, that was fun, and now we have, I have one of the 250 calls for March of next year left. But yeah, good for a 30K profit, and now in terms of the theme of bigger names, bigger squeezes, and potentially bigger profits, one we like here, of course, is Tesla. And Tesla was good to us back here on the weekly and the 2-day squeeze. And then, ever since a little back and forth, all the chop has given us a brand new 4-hour and a brand new daily squeeze. We're long here with a 500 call for January, and we also bought a few of the call debit spreads for November expiration. Taking a look here at the 4-hour squeeze. And then notice down here on the MACD, you had a negative cross in early October. And they don't break it down, they don't crush it, see the squeeze break short. But you're no longer getting the gap it up, the pump it, all the action you're getting back here throughout September, when you had a good momentum behind you. So yeah, for the 4-hour squeeze here, I'm liking the structure, I'm liking the trend, and I'm liking the fact for the first time since October kicked off, 4-hour MACD getting the shift back above to the buy side. So from there, you take that green arrow squeeze, and if they can keep it above 440, 450, try to call for a push towards that 480, 485 target. The beauty here being, if they can pop it off on the 4-hour, that can maybe motivate that daily squeeze to break out, at which point you call for a path into the $500 call wall. So we are liking some Tesla, and then for the Broadcom here, we jumped into, what did we grab here? Broadcom, we jumped into a handful of the November expiration, 390, 400 called debit spreads. Beautiful daily squeeze, got the momentum shift here today, got the white arrow. You have an ample amount of lower time frame triggers. That one would fit the bill, so looking for a path here into 380, 385-ish, and then Amazon has earnings later in the week. But from a bigger time frame point of view, very similar to Qualcomm, AMD, and Google, the monthly squeeze here is about perfect. Brand new squeeze, perfect structure, 15 points. And off of the green arrow there, a really good risk-reward entry. Long from 230-ish, I think you're wrong under you're long from 225, 230, I think you're wrong under 200. Target currently sits around 270. I happen to think a decent risk-reward. Now, if they gap it down to 150 bucks per share after earnings, it won't look as pretty. But that I'd like for a bigger picture idea. And then one more for the short term. Let's go look at the daily squeeze in TSM. And look, until the SMH runs out of steam, these things should continue to work. TSM setting up with a daily, a 4-hour, and a 1-hour squeeze. And I would like to catch it on a green arrow. And ideally getting it on a green arrow off that 4-hour. Little pop here through 300. If 300 can act as brand new support, they've got the squeeze behind it, they have the structure, they've got the trend. If they can get the elusive momentum, I like it for a call around 315-ish, and you look for a breakout. But all right, guys, that is that. Busy week here. We got big earnings coming up. We have the interest rate decision, all the different moving parts. But till things change here on the dashboard. And for now, the dashboard says you're in a bullish market led by the QQQ, S&Ps, XLK, and the SMH. Till that changes, we're liking names like Tesla, Broadcom, Amazon, Nvidia, all the above. So thank y'all for watching. I'll be in touch next week, looking for the next Qualcomm trade.